right, to start today, we're going to once again review contractions. What the contractions are and what the two words are that make up the contraction. So here I have a chart, once again, of some common contractions. Let's go through them. Can't is cannot. I'm is I am. Let's is let us. Whose, who is or who has. That's, that is or that has. Would've, would have. We've, we have. He'll, he will. Didn't, did not. Couldn't, could not. So contractions are two words that are shortened with an apostrophe that make two words become one and a shorter word. I have another video, actually 3 short videos. They're the Jack Hartman song videos, so there are 3 songs for you to watch that just give you some fun examples and some practice with contractions. So after this video, go ahead and take a look at those. Today we're going to also be learning about quotation marks and how they're used for dialogue or talking in text. We're going to practice writing quotation marks around the dialogue in written sentences. There are special punctuation marks we use when writing to show a person is speaking. In a story, when people are speaking, we call this dialogue. This type of punctuation is called quotation marks. We're going to discuss how to use quotation marks today. Here is a picture of a person talking, and we know that they're talking because there's a speech bubble. Any of you who have ever read graphic novels know that they use a lot of speech bubbles. Here is the same picture, but instead, now I have written some speech or dialogue inside. It says, hi. This person is saying hi. This person is me, and I'm saying hi. If we were to write this in a sentence, I would say, Mrs. Bannock says hi. If you notice, I wrote the word hi in quotation marks. When I wrote the sentence, Mrs. Bannock says, I put a comma. The comma tells us to pause and that what comes after will be in quotation marks, and that is what the person said. When something is in quotation marks, it's exactly what the person said. You'll also notice that the exclamation point after hi is inside the quotation marks. You put all punctuation from what a person says inside the quotation marks. Now we're going to look at some sentences that have dialogue in them. The first one is, Jane said I can run. Frank said we like cake. James said let's go skating. Pete said, do you like frogs? If you notice, something is missing. Right, we don't know what Jane is saying, or Frank, or James, or Pete, because we haven't used our quotation marks. Our quotation marks is a signal that that's what the person says. Now here, I have gone ahead and put the quotation marks around the words that Jane said. I put them before the word I and after the word run. You'll also notice that I capitalized the word I, just like it was a regular sentence. Remember, we capitalized the first word of a sentence. So even though the word I is not at the beginning, I still capitalize it because it's the beginning of the dialogue. And then I put the other quotation mark at the end, after the period. Remember, any punctuation like a period or a question mark or an exclamation mark, all are going to go on the inside of the quotation mark. So now it says, Jane said, I can run. And you'll notice I paused after the word said. Remember, that's what that comma means. All right. I went ahead and did the other three. Let's see if you agree. Here are the rest of the sentences with the quotation marks used. So again, you'll see in the second sentence, I put the quotation marks around we and the period after cake. So it says, Frank said, we like cake. And I capitalize the W in we because it's the beginning of what Frank says. The second one says, James said, let's go skating. So I put quotation marks around the words that James said. So it's before the L in let's and after the period in after skating. You'll also notice again that I capitalize the L in let's. It's kind of like the beginning of a new sentence, but not at the beginning of the sentence that you wrote. The last one, Pete said, do you like frogs? Again, I put quotation marks before the D and after the question mark, capitalizing the D in do because it's the beginning of the dialogue. Now it's your turn. In your packet, you're going to find this page, 4.1. It's pages 19 and 20. Now you'll see that there is a person with a speech bubble. And then there is some lines and some words. So for example, we have the person saying in the speech bubble, I like to eat candy. And then next to it, it says, Jane said. So now we're going to take what Jane said and write it down, like we would in a book. The next one says, bedtime is at 9. Ooh, this is Dad talking. Dad said. The next one says, the sun is shining. Mike said. Finish the sentence using quotation marks. The last one on this page says, can't I sit up? Jane asked this question. On the next page, it says, can you tell a fun tale? Mike is asking this. Go ahead and write it with quotation marks. Then we have, I don't like beets. Jane said this. The third one, a stream is nice. Ooh, Anne said that. And the last one, beans are fun to pick. Dad said that one. Here's the first one I did for you. I put the quotation marks at the beginning. I capitalized the I, and I said, I like to eat candy, period. And then I put the quotation marks after the period. You want to go ahead and do this for the rest of them. Go ahead, take a picture of your work, and send it to me in Class Dojo. If for some reason you turned your whole packet in last week, then go ahead and just copy these sentences down in your notebook. You don't have to make the picture of the person with the dialogue box or the speech bubble. Just go ahead and copy the sentences, including the part that's already written, like Jane said. Can't wait to see them.